OBS should be capturing it, so it should be fine. Let's just wait for it to load. Everything unlimited. There we go. We're in. Options. Oh no, not audio. What? Oh. You know, I'm gonna keep it loudish because it's gonna be necessary for us to hear the sound. Sound is gonna be very necessary, so I'm gonna keep the sound loud. And we'll turn it up on OBS if it needs to be. Video. Full screen. Can we do window border? There we go. Laptop power settings disabled. Overlay position top left. 920 by 1080. What screen? Yeah. Apply. Apply. So as the game loads up. Okay, cool. Back. Keyboard and mouse. Gamepad. Let's just go with keyboard and mouse for now. And let's begin the game. Now, I think the face composition should be okay. Please make sure audio is on. Audio is on. We are ready. Our bodies are ready. Controls, WASD and left click. Scaredy cat game. No, it's not much of a scaredy cat game. This is more of like explore the mind of a game developer game. Should be interesting. It's kind of like Stanley Parable.
Hi there. Thank you very much for playing the Beginner's Guide. My name is Davey Reedon. I wrote the Stanley Parable, and while that game tells a pretty absurd story, today I'm going to tell you about a series of events that happened between 2008 and 2011. We're going to look at the games made by a friend of mine named Coda. Now, these games mean a lot to me. I met Coda in early 2009 at a time when I was really struggling with some personal stuff.
Let me turn it up a little bit more.
Powerful direction. I found it to be a good reference point for the kinds of creative works that I wanted to make. So just to start you off, this is, I think, the first game he ever made.
Let me go to options, so put on subtitles. Audio, closed caption, yes. Full captions. Not sly at all. Thank you, Snow. I appreciate that. Welcome everyone to the stream today. Be sure to wish them a happy birthday. I personally think the best birthday present is made with your You don't have to, but it's always appreciated. If you want to gift me a game on Steam, I'll gladly, take a $2 game, no problem. I'll take that. If you want to donate, feel free to. Let's go and continue.
It's a level for Counter-Strike. You can walk around here, by the way. And mostly it's just Coda learning.
Hold on one second. Did the subtitles not get on? No, it's full captions. It should be fine.
The basics of building a 3D environment. But what I like is that even though he starts from the simple aesthetic of a desert town, he then scatters these colorful abstract blobs and impossible floating crates around the level. And of course, it destroys the illusion that this actually is a desert town, and instead this level becomes a kind of calling card from its creator. It's like a reminder that this video game was constructed by a real person. And it kind of makes you wonder, what was going through his head as he was building this? This is what I like about all of Coda's games. I mean, not that they're all fascinating as games, but that they are all going to give us access to their creator. I want us to see past the games themselves. I want to get to know who this human being really is. And that's exactly what we're going to do here. So, it's 2008, Coda starts making these games, and he never releases any of them. He doesn't put them onto the internet, he just makes them and then immediately abandons them, and they sit on his computer forever. And I think he really understood this image of himself as a recluse. At one point he jokingly renamed his computer's recycling bin to Important Games Folder. So, this was just how he worked. He tended to crank them out one after the other without even really pausing to try to understand what he had just made, until suddenly one day he just stopped. In 2011, that was it. He made his last game, and then he hasn't made another one since. And that's why I've taken this opportunity to gather all of his work together, is because I find his games powerful and interesting, and I'd like this collection to reach him, to maybe encourage him to start creating again. And if the people like you who play this also happen to find his work interesting, then I'm sure it'll just send that much stronger of a message of encouragement to Coda. So thanks for joining me on this. If you have a particular interpretation that I haven't mentioned here, or if you just need to get in touch, you can email me at daveywreden@gmail.com. Okay, that's about it for introduction. Let's take a look at Coda's first proper game.
They crouch.
As each game is loading, I'll show you the date that it was completed.
Hey, meep
This
meep.
first one was made in November 2008.
the crouch jump did not work. That's why, like, that's the thing. You had to be on a certain ramp in order to crouch. I was trying to crouch jump real hard. All right. Anyway, Meepy, welcome. How long are you going to stream for? Honestly, Bradley, for the majority of the night. I actually got Ark as my birthday gift, and I wanna stream that as well. Sorry, I got a text message. Hey, Andre. Hello, happy birthday, Sam. Thank you, Andre. I really appreciate that. Maybe you can help me. What is Surge's class on WoW? Rogue. There we go. Sam has learned crouch jumping. It's like watching a baby's first steps. Ah, Snow. You must be a proud parent. You must be a proud parent moderator, aren't you? Thank you, Meep Meep. I appreciate that. Whisper machine. Status active.
Whisper machine active. Shift destruction imminent.
The gun
this game
sounds...
is called Escape from Whisper, and it's one of the more generic games you'll see from Coda.
Let's go and move the face cam down over here. The sound for the gun is very, very low. You can't reload. You can't jump around. What are you firing at? I'm out of ammo. Well, that sucks.
Security call breached. Hostile alien life form inbound.
It kinda looks like this game was abandoned mid-development. For instance, you have this gun, which you'd think would indicate that there are supposed to be monsters or enemies somewhere, but then clearly there are no enemies anywhere. You can't even reload the gun when you run out of bullets. But ultimately we don't really know. Maybe Coda thought that actually it was complete the way that it is. And I think that we should talk about his games for what they are, rather than for what they're not.
Enemy force neutralized. Begin ship
Oh,
evacuation.
I guess we go in the different area. Oh, there we go. Wow. What?
I
Wow.
love how you can see the bottom of the universe from this room.
I mean, the star skybox does look okay, except the bottom is, like, interesting. Whisper machine, status active. Evacuate immediately. Do we go here? Oh yeah, we do go here. Soundless gun to bed, gun to get. Oh, the best get. Soundless gun, the best gun to get. And low ammo for the best. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, labyrinth level? Oh my god.
Apparently this space station has a labyrinth on it. Sure, I don't know. There's really no reason for it that I've ever been able to discern, so in the interest of time, I'm just gonna skip you on past it.
Oh. Can I go back to it?
Or, if you'd really like to solve the labyrinth, you're welcome to do that too.
Well, I will gladly solve the labyrinth. That's what I will do. You know what? Nope. I'm just gonna go ahead and go. He still can't fire. You know, I'm gonna get lost in this labyrinth forever. I need like a minimap or something. Or if I could like shoot down the ground to mark where I go, that'd be the way to do it.
Okay, this is the part that's interesting. The game has this narrative about the Whisper machine and how it has to be turned off, and then you get to the engine room.
I should recommend one of my favorite free games of all time, Cave Story. There's an HD version on Steam, but it's not a requirement. Sweet. Cave Story is a bomb. I'll make sure to check it out. If you could like tweet...
You there, in the engine room. You could save us all. That beam is powering a whisper machine. We could disrupt it by introducing a great enough heat signature. If your body could stop the beam. It's so much to ask, but for all of our lives, would you do it? Could you give yourself?
Sure.
Let me pause here for a second. What you just experienced, stepping into the beam and then dying, is probably what Coda had initially intended when he was developing this level. But when he first compiles and plays it, something goes wrong. There's a bug somewhere. And this is what happens instead.
Okay, so this is how... This is the bug here. Okay.
The
What?
beam causes you to start floating. And this is an important moment for him. Because yes, this is technically a glitch, but Coda identifies something human about it. Like how small it makes you feel in the face of this larger chaotic system. Or this floating could be the afterlife, a peaceful place, juxtaposed against all of the hysteria that you've just had to traverse. I don't even know. I have no idea what he was thinking, but what's clear is that after making this, something lodges itself in his brain. He wants to do more of these really weird and experimental designs. So he stops work on this and moves on to a stream of tiny little games that go in all sorts of directions. Let's go ahead and take a look at the first game he made after leaving this one behind.
Guess we go to the next game. Looks like freeze. It does. Free. We are free. Free falling. Oh, this looks kind of interesting. I can move. Okay.
Yep. In this game, you can only walk backwards.
The past was behind her. Really? Wow. Okay. Okay. Go on this way for a little bit more. Keep going. Oh, but the future cannot be seen.
So it's a short and relatively minimalist experiment combining motion and narrative. It is less advanced than the previous game, but actually it seems to be more focused, more complete. Code is trying to give it a unique voice rather than simply basing it on a pre-existing trope.
Guess we're going this way then. This is interesting. When she stops and looks, it becomes clearer. We can see clearly now, the rain is gone. But if the future is always behind her, more a maze than a ship, it is more of a maze. How will she find the strength to confront it?
It's a short little thought, it says what it wants to say, and then it ends. Didn't need anything more than that. Which to me is why it works, because it gets out quick. Okay, next one.
Alright then, loading November 2008. What is this? Oh dude, this is creepy. Wow, you're now entering. Can't even sprint, we can crouch. That's about it.
And that's it. Okay, the meaning of this game won't be clear just yet. Please be patient with me for a few more games and I promise you'll see what makes it interesting.
December 2008. So far, seems like
Oftentimes, Coda would put bizarre titles like this one at the start of his games.
Whoa.
I wish I'd known him at the time that he was making these early games. He would really only talk to me about his work as he was making it. Once he stopped work on a game, like, that was it. It was dead to him. And I don't agree with that at all, but what are you gonna do?
We're slowing down. I started working on a 2D RPGs as my first games.
Once you've been slowed to an absolute crawl, the door at the top of the stairs opens. So why, if Coda's not showing these games to anyone, why bother opening the door at all?
Let me go ahead and read this right now. I started working on a 2D RPGs as my first games, however, less intensive work, so more goals can be reached. That is pretty good. That is actually a really good way to go. And as well, you can experiment with a 2D engine, which is less complex than a 3D engine. 3D was not something I started until much later. I got a text message. Hold on one sec. Let me see this. Wait, was it? Oh, I knew. What's going on here? Yeah, come after down eating with my mom. Alright, cool. My buddy's gonna be coming by after he comes to see his mom.
Well, to show you, I'm modifying the game here so that when you press enter, it'll bring you back up to full speed so you can enter the door for yourself.
Okay. Oh, wow, we can actually move. Let's go in here. What's in here? Ooh. Stand on X, starting a bear 3. Game of imposters, it cuts hard what game is intended to be. A stranger appears. You run a shop inside your own body, selling your organs strategically to make the most money.
A room that's warm and nice and filled with little ideas for games.
Wow. I'm guessing this is his mind or something.
Coda would often tell me that he didn't mind if people thought of him as cold or distant. He said that he knew that he was actually a vibrant and compassionate person, but that it takes time to really see that. It can be a very slow climb to get there.
Wow, I learned something about Coda. Like Lunar Silver Star Harmony Best 2D RPG. I didn't really play a lot of 2D RPGs, but I wouldn't mind playing some for sure, especially the ones that are worth it. Ready, set, flash. Oh, fish. Okay. This looks like Stanley Parable. Like the same level from Stanley Parable, actually. At least the walls do.
Well, this is new for Coda. It's an actual puzzle. Go ahead and see if you can solve it.
What do I do here? I cannot solve this puzzle. What happens if I... Will that open on the other side? It doesn't seem like it opens on the other side. I don't want to lock myself in. What do I do here? I have no idea. There's something over here that I gotta press, I know that for sure. Something on the wall. Just don't know where on the wall it is. I think there gotta be like a lever or something. It's so dark in here, I can't even see. Oh my god. Maybe we lock ourselves in here or something. Well, maybe we do actually, let's try that. Oh, look at that.
Don't forget that solution, because we're going to see this puzzle again soon. We're gonna see it a lot.
Okay then. I made my own engines when they were 2D. Making a 3D engine was too hard to make. Oh my fucking god, I did this too. I made a game which was a platform to make more games with ideas for it. Nice. Dude, lock yourself in. Yeah. I didn't realize we had to do that first. Okay, so we lock ourselves in order. We gotta remember the puzzles. It's, at least it said like to remember the puzzle of this combination. Lock yourselves in.
So that seems to be it, right? You walk down a corridor, you solve the puzzle, you get to the end. Simple enough. Alright, now I'm going to modify the game again, so that when you press enter, it'll remove all of the walls from this room.
Alright, let's do this. Whoa. Wow, look at that.
How about that? There was more to it than we had any way of knowing. I actually find it funny that this game comes after the Stairs game, since they essentially convey the opposite idea. So, in the Stairs game, a dull exterior concealed a rich interior. And then, in this level, a dull interior hides this fantastic outer world. Either way, I think that the point is the same, is that most of the time you don't get to know what you're missing, or even that you're missing anything. That's not your role as a player. So if your role here is not to understand, then what is it?
To explore? I have no idea. I think the developer was doing this. The entrance is more than just the entrance. I think that's what it is, actually. I kind of like this. This is an interesting game. You're now exiting.
Aha. So, this, combined with the entering game from earlier, tells us that Coda believes his games are connected somehow. It could even be that the Stairs game and the puzzle game are literally connected in between this and the entering game. There's a bigger picture that all of his games are meant to play a role in, some larger meaning that we won't be able to grasp until we've seen all of them. And once we have, we can step back and start to understand what exactly that bigger picture is.
Okay, March 2009. This is interesting. This is really, really interesting. I like this. It's a very existential kind of game. The Great and Lowly Descent. Or Lovely Descent. That's a house. Just like
Let's
Skyrim.
talk about video game development for a second. Every video game runs on what's called an engine, which determines what the game can and cannot do. So in other words, the engine is a set of tools for game development. To make all of these games, Coda is using an engine called Source. Like all engines, Source has certain things that it does well, and it has certain things that it does poorly. One of the things that it does very well is boxy linear corridors. That's why so many of Coda's games are set in these large, flat, empty rooms, is just because he's working with what the engine does well.
Whoa.
The tools available to the creator shape what kinds of creative work they're gonna end up making.
Hey, Pilgrim! Sam, happy birthday, brother. Who'd have thought Pilgrim makes it to the stream? Hey, Pilgrim, welcome to the stream. We're playing a little bit of the Beginner's Guide, a very interesting game that I got on Steam. Hope you're having a great day, buddy. I'm having a pretty good day. Darren became a sourpuss for the end of the day, but I'm gonna ignore it. Glad to see you on here, buddy. You know, make to these? Well, welcome. Welcome to the stream.
You might consider paying attention to the architecture in Coda's games, to notice how they seem to stem from an engine that's very good at producing linear, boxy corridors.
To explain what we're doing, we're exploring a game that talks about game development and a certain creator, and we are just exploring this creator's unfinished games and having a narrator kind of tell us more about like the meaning behind everything, which is interesting.